Welcome back to N64 Kariwa, our channel. I know we've been away for a while. This video is all about the repairs, maintenance and upgrades that we carried out in September, October of 2025. The work was so extensive that we've ended up having to have 2 volumes. When we went to Alaska, we knew we'd have more work to do when we returned. We had, of course, upgrades and deferred maintenance, but in addition, any other work we discovered on the journey. The next 2 videos are a summary of that work. It was quite extensive and ended up including a haul-out, which was not originally on the cards. The main reason for the haul-out was our wing shaft packing was in need of replacement, and we found the shaft was actually binding to the seal, which meant that we needed to haul out and essentially redo the whole wing shaft setup. The haul out also showed a damaged stabilizer which we wouldn't have seen, and which we think may have come from a grounding or hitting of an iceberg in Alaska. There was a number of other jobs, but these are shown in the next video. So for those who want to see repairs and upgrade work in videos, this is a video very much focused on these areas. Sit back and enjoy. So shortly after climbing off the boat, and as the boat was hauled out, all 192,000 pounds of her on the scale, we started to walk around and discovered the damage to the starboard stabilizer. We also noticed that there was some damage to the hull, where we had obviously scraped when we had run aground. Fortunately, a Nordhavn 68 fin was available, and with this being repaired, we were able to change fins. But first we had to get the fin off and have the other one painted. So this sort of lays out the process. As you can see, a lot of the work is being carried out by the Yacht Tech team in Anacortes, and we are extremely grateful for the help that they provided while we were in Anacortes in September and October.
Liner up. Alright, come up a little bit. Nice and gentle.
Of course, this was also an opportunity to change out the zincs and put new zincs in all of the spaces, and so I use this as an opportunity to carry out that maintenance. Unlike our old Nordhavn 62, which had a dripless shaft seal, this boat has a wet shaft seal or a stuffing box and packing gland. The pro, of course, is it's forgiving on minor shaft misalignments, and you can adjust it. There's less risk of sudden catastrophic failure. We found while we were up in Alaska on running the wing that we were not getting any liquid, no dripping at all. And along with my friend Dave Knapp from N64 Zarpe, we tried to take out the packing. And even when we took out all the packing, there was no water coming, suggesting that there was a bigger problem. So when we came back to Anacortes, I said to James Knight that this was something that needed urgent attention. As you can see, the packing gland is bound, and we're trying to get the shaft out. The packing gland was only turning, hence the need to use a chain to hold it in place while we tried to remove the shaft. This ended up being quite a large job, and this was why we had to haul out.
Of the come along that you're using.
As you can see here, the chain is holding the packing gland as we hit the shaft to try and break the seal and get the shaft out of the boat.
Is it really tight?
I mean, shouldn't have to. Should it be that tight? Keep going. No, stop. All right, you ready? We're going all the way out?
Yeah.
Let's go. Not about ready now. You got it? You want it? Yeah. Where was the problem?
And the clearance between here and the shaft probably not good, not enough.
Not enough.
Probably from the factory. So it's probably been a problem right from the get-go.
No one's really been.
Well, we found the bearing was a little bit messed up inside, so we were lucky enough that Gary here was coming up, so we got a new bearing.
Your cutlass bearing, yeah.
Cutlass bearing, and so we didn't. I don't know if you had a picture of this yesterday, but it was pretty green and nasty when we took it out, and obviously we had to tie the shaft to my truck to get that. Did you get a picture of that too?
Yeah.
So it had bound up inside here, somewhere up in this area, which is interesting because we couldn't really find the marks where it was binding. But anyway, the clearance here was way too tight, so we honed it out and and then adjusted this slightly so that it all fits together nicely, as you can see.
Beautiful.
We should be fine. We'll get it all back together today, hopefully.
Looks brand new. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the old cutlass bearing. You can see it's starting to come apart, flaky. And this is the new one. Great shape. And it kind of just... It's a bit snug, but it goes in pretty good. Slides in nicely. And then you tie it down with these. Oh, here comes James.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Here, Jason is filing the shaft key as we start to put the wing shaft back together and the drip and the seal, not dripper seal. Here he's hammering it in, and shortly thereafter we'll start to fit it.
I was going to ask you to turn it, but Jason just turned it. That looks good. You really need something to tap that with, like a punch. Tap it down. hold against that? Can you hold it?
Yeah.
It's moving.
It is?
Yeah, yeah.
No, not so much now.
Push it in as hard as you can.
Half-inch.
Finish it with that rubber mallet. There was just some corrosion on one of the boards, and there was a leak at a Schrader valve in the forward cabin, so it was low on gas, but it's all working.
Shaft, each one touching, but you want to have the seam in different positions for each
Yeah.
layer of packing. So and probably in thirds, 3
Okay.
o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Well, the last one would be
Yeah.
here, like that.
Okay.
Come out of the way. Probably going to need a tool.
Huh?
Something
To push? Oh, did you hammer them down?
No, I didn't. I think my dad did
I
already.
don't know
But
if he did all of them though.
okay.
I would just do them all.
Look at that.
Need something to push it in there.
I can push it in with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 4,500, yes. And the brake band a bit. I only. Did you trim them? Make them all the same?
I did do this.
Okay.
There was one that was just a tad low.
Where was the join on the first one?
Over here, on my finger.
Specifically the same. So you better do it with this would be my
Back.
Look, gonna get him going.
Careful.
Huh?
Leslie's filming.
Oh.
Oh, Leslie is.
You got to lift the bottom bit,
He's
Matthew.
not big enough this time. Yeah.
You want me to try and lift it from my end?
That brake band. Hey. Tails on the other.
You got it.
Tail mountains.
There you go.
To that.
Oh, that was getting no shirt.
Correct.
That's it.
He messaged me and said, who did you survey?
Don't tighten it up.
I know.
Just
Yeah.
as recommended.
So you're-
I said, sure. Don't know anybody else.
Oh, I like his reports.
Carol?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's,
Well, just that he laid them out.
yeah, they're well laid. And now the final position with locking nuts on, the grounding wire on, and everything in place. We run it once a month to make sure, and when I say run it once a month in gear, at least once a month we run it in gear to keep it turning over. So that concludes volume 1. In the next volume we do navigation repairs, take on new batteries, we do work on new inverters, new alternators, new belts for the wing engine, a new dampener for the wing engine, work on the windlass, and we go back in the water. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and look forward to volume 2, which we shall put out very soon. It's good to be back, and I know many people do like these videos where we do the repairs.